I'm having sort of a bizarre experience. When I was doing the Camino, I just wanted to show my family what I was doing. So vlogging was very easy because I was just being myself, and in my mind, the only person watching was going to be my mom. And so it was really easy and not intimidating at all. And now I've got like 90 something subscribers. Some of you are commenting, and I'm so happy about that, but it just changes the vibe, changes my feeling when I create, and it does feel slightly intimidating, to be honest. And it's so easy to just compare what you're creating to what other people create, and to like read things on how to do this or maintain this, like vlogging, and just feel like, okay, this isn't for me. But then I think you probably don't want like a cookie cutter vlog. You don't want a formula, you want a real person. So if I just stick to what I was doing, it should be good for both me and for you. So I'm gonna try to do that. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I started my YouTube channel when I started the Camino de Santiago Portuguese coastal way, and I finished up in Santiago just a few days ago, and then I decided to come back to my favorite town that I visited along the way. When I was doing the Camino, I stayed here for 2 nights, so basically 1 day, and I just absolutely loved it. And if you don't know my bigger story, I've been traveling full-time, slowly, for the past 13 years. So since I graduated college in Florida in the United States, I took my first one-way ticket all the way across the country to California. And then about a year and a half later, I felt the call to go to New York City, so I went to New York City. Then about a year later, I felt the call to go to Hawaii, so I moved out to the middle of the Pacific. And about a year later, I started traveling the world globally, and at a much faster pace. So my first 3 moves were like within the United States, and I stayed about a year. And then since then, for over 10 years, it's been travel all around, and I typically stay about a month in each place just because it would feel too exhausting if I went any faster. But the Camino was definitely a fast pace. I mean, you're moving every single day, maximum every other day. So that isn't very long to stay in a place. So I'm really grateful that I can be here. Yeah. And what else? Yeah, I think it's just a rainy day, so I'm gonna take it slow and enjoy some lingering time around the property, and maybe go explore something in the town. We'll see. I really don't know, but I'm gonna take you with me. First things first, I need to take a shower. I also need to wash my clothes, but I don't really feel like doing that today because I did the Camino. You really only bring 2 outfits. I brought 2 outfits and a dress. So yeah, you have to do laundry pretty frequently, and it's not like I've gone shopping since I arrived in the village, so I'm still with my Camino wardrobe. So I hand wash. Maybe I'll show you the hand wash station later, and I hang my clothes out to dry. Yeah, and I also want to show you more of the mill house. So that is where I sleep. And then I have this bed down here, which is actually way more comfortable. This one's like springs, but it's still pretty comfortable. But this one is like foam. So I sit down here and read, hang my backpack. I love the ceiling and the skylights and the stone walls. This is where I sit to eat because there's also a nice little table, which I think is part of the mill, or the old mill. There's just like a little wardrobe rack, extra little table with fans. It's nice that it has electricity. I love this little portal. And then the door is also pretty little. So I definitely have to duck going through there. It's a super foggy, misty, rainy day. Everything is just wet. But it's nice that I'm by the pool, because on a sunny day, I like to sit right there and get some sun. And yeah, there's also accommodations there. And then the dorms are all over there. And then my tent is on the other side of that. One of the many bathrooms, and then a shower. All the showers on the property are rain heads, so I'm a happy girl. It's such a luxury to have hot water. Like if you stick around and watch for when I go to Cambodia and live on my favorite remote tropical paradise island, there's only cold water. So I am so grateful that there's hot water here. Let's switch that. Okay, I know why I shouldn't do laundry today, because it would never dry. You need a good sunny day to hand wash and hang dry. Very important. It's the sound and the top of their heads of the pilgrims walking by. The Camino Portuguese is right on the other side of that wall. There's my mill house. And the horse, at least one of them, some sheep. And yeah, that's where I stay. Hey, birdie. Okay, let's go check out my tent. This is the first time it's rained since I set up my tent a couple days ago, so I want to see if water has gotten inside. Okay, so there is my tent. Just hop down here. It's weird, it's showing like some spots look penetrated with water, saturated, some don't. This is the rain fly. I mean, some water probably just got in with me opening it. A little sand. It looks dry, except for right there where it fell off the rain fly when I opened it. I'm gonna take these, my hiking sandals that I did the Camino with, because my flip-flops are falling apart. The ocean is that direction, but you can't even see it. It is so misty, foggy, rainy. It's just a gray day. Pilgrims galore. I love it. I'm actually so happy it rained because I don't know if you've been seeing on the news, it's probably international news, global news, there have been crazy fires in Portugal. Tens of thousands of acres have burned, property has been lost, people have lost their lives, and so this is very welcomed, the rain. I wonder if they're all just like put out now. That's just like the power of God. Oof, crazy. I guess this is kind of a flex, but it's also a real concern of mine. I need to get my passport renewed. And not because it's expiring, but because I'm almost out of pages and I have no plans to be back in the United States, so I'll have to get it renewed abroad, which I know is possible. I'm just gonna have to learn how to do it. And even though I really do not like that passport photo, the passport is really special to me because I first got it in 2016 when I took my first one-way ticket and moved to California. I got it at the post office there, or some government building. And yeah, it's been with me through, I think 31 countries now, has all my stamps. And yeah, I will cherish it. But it's time to get a new one. And I really hope they take a new picture. In Portugal, you see so many tiles, but these are some of my favorites. Look, the seagull, the sailboat, the lily, the woman. I've never been this way before, but I'm kind of wondering if I can get to my cafe and the mini market this way instead of my usual way. It's one of my favorite things to do, is just switch up the route or just wander a random direction. And sometimes you get into such a routine, you forget to do that. And then you miss out on the sights. Like, look at that, it's beautiful. Looks like this route leads me up to the cathedral. But look at these apples. I bet they're so good. I've tried the apples in Portugal and they are so good. The little ones. Are those really apples? Those are Christmas ornaments. They're apples. Oh, I know where I am. I remember seeing this on the Camino. Not just the cathedral, but the cemetery of Carazo. That's beautiful. Bom Camino. Oh, it's the chapel of the mortuary. Mortuary? And there's the regular cathedral. Holy moly! That scared me. Wow, it's still resonating. Oh. Right as I was walking onto here. So many loved ones. I pray they're with you, Jesus. I remember walking here when I did the Camino. Oh, there's rice. I wonder if there was a wedding. I don't know. I remember walking here when I was doing the Camino. You can probably go back and watch that video. It should be the one Ana to Carrezo. And I actually reserved an albergue that's right here, but I had a misunderstanding and I just went to the one that I'm living at now. And then the guy from this one was texting me like, it's after 2, you said you'd be here, where are you? And I was like, I'm here, I'm by the pool, what do you mean? And he's like, you must be at the wrong albergue because I'm at the pool. And he sent me a picture and I was like so confused, and then I investigated and yeah, this is Casa do Adro, which I'm sure is a great albergue. Maybe I'll check it out. I reserved with him and I just somehow took myself, thanks God, to Sardao because I love it there. I really fell in love and now I'm back, so I think it was meant to be. But one day I will stay with these guys because I'm sure they have a great place too. But yeah, very happy accident. Here's theirs. Look at all those amenities. Yeah, I'm sure it's great. There's construction, so sorry about the noise. You might be wondering how I'm able to stay a while. I wasn't sure about this before I came to Portugal and Spain and started understanding how the Camino works, but basically municipal or public albergues, they only let you stay one night, and obviously they're exclusive for pilgrims. You have to have a credential. And also sometimes you can't make reservations. If you get an app like Wise Pilgrim is the one that I used, you'll be able to know all of these specifications. But private albergues are a different story. So where I'm staying now is a private albergue, and it's basically like a hotel. Like, I keep saying like, it's basically like a hotel where you're able to stay as many nights as you want. This one is not exclusively for pilgrims, and yeah, it does take reservations, so functions a little bit differently than the municipal or public albergues, and it's a lot nicer. Usually the municipals are just very basic, and this one, for me anyways, I love all the character it has, all the old decorations, and I mean, it's a little rough around the edges. There are cobwebs for sure, but I love it. I haven't done a whole lot of small town living in my life, so this is a bit difficult, especially with shops having very strange opening hours. They open for a portion in the morning and then close for the siesta hours, and then reopen in the evening, typically late. Like some places open at 9 p.m. It's incomprehensible to me. But this mini market was supposed to open at 2:30, and I'm not sure if they will. And it's really the only place to buy groceries in the whole town. So I've had a couple of like bar snacks today, but I really want to buy groceries so I can cook for myself and also prepare for Sunday when literally everything is closed. And I'll need to have groceries or I won't eat. But I'm not sure if they're gonna open up, so yep. Okay, I'm back. And so the market opened. Actually, I went to the little cafe next door. I think the man that runs the cafe and the woman that runs the market are married or best friends. They seem to have quite a close connection and operate things together. So I asked the bartender what time the mini market opens, like after 2:30 at this point. And he said, maybe 10 minutes. And he said, sit down. So I sat and waited. And then I noticed that he just walked around the back and opened up the market for me and was kind of doing both at once, which is so sweet. But yeah, fortunately, I wasn't the only one that needed stuff from the market. His store just got flooded and I think they made a lot of sales. So hopefully it wasn't too much of a burden. But I'll show you what I got. I didn't want to film like as he had taken his time to open the door and was like multitasking. I didn't want to just be like lollygagging there with the camera. So I got this tomato. I've been making sort of like a Greek salad as best as I can do with Portuguese ingredients. So tomatoes here are really good. This is not feta, but it is some type of soft cheese that actually has onion and oregano. So that's not really the flavor, but it'll do. It's cheese, you know, it tastes good. Also a cucumber, which I peel before I slice. Green bell pepper. An onion, not red onion, they didn't have it, and olive oil, which I just ran out of my olive oil, which I use for everything. It's my moisturizer, it's what I use in my food. So that, oh, and this, black olives, and then that's everything for my Greek salad. I have enough to make one serving basically. And then I got some tuna fillets in olive oil, which I love. I just eat these straight. And basically that's going to be my lunch. I already had 2 plums. I ate them on the way, and a little piece of bread. So that'll be my lunch. And then I'll have, I don't know, maybe the salad for lunch tomorrow. And then for dinner, I got these. Can you see? It's like tiny little pastas in the shape of stars. They're called stelline. And I'll tell you my plan with those, but I'm gonna have them with pesto and peas, and yeah. So I like really good coffee, but I've also learned how to do things just in a pinch. So I take my little mug that travels with me and attaches by carabiner to my backpack, fill it, you know, to there with instant coffee, and then just fill it with hot water from the tap or the shower, whichever is available. And I also do that with my oatmeal. So I have this oatmeal here, and it's like it must be instant. I don't know what makes it instant, but basically the hot water is well enough to get this soft, almost too soft. I don't know how it would work if you actually boiled it or microwaved it, because it gets really mushy. And sometimes I add this chocolate powder to make it a little more tasty. But also I'm thinking that this pasta is fine enough and the water is hot enough that I could just make my pasta with hot water from the tap. Typically I will have access to the kitchen here, but as I said, a group rented out the whole place, so I don't have access to all the usual facilities. And I think that the kitchen I do have access to has a burner, but I looked at it and I tried to turn it on and I couldn't figure it out. So I've just kind of said, I'm gonna stick to simple things and not ask for help. Sometimes I struggle to ask for help, but I was really proud that I asked the barman when the supermarket is gonna open. So I did ask for help in that situation. I asked for what I needed and he was so generous to help me out. So baby steps. Yeah, that's all that's in there. And I'm going to eat my tuna. And yeah. I'm all cozy today. I love a good rainy day. I think I'm gonna watch a movie or something. But I know this was a long one, so thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Every like, comment, subscription just surprises the heck out of me. I don't know why you want to watch my life, but I'm really excited to share my journey with you, even if it's a tiny bit new and intimidating. I think it's really fun. And don't forget, I have a Patreon, so you can see more behind the scenes stuff, photos, stories, and some video updates that are just for my patrons. So thank you guys for joining me there. That support really helps a lot to supplement my very tiny nonprofit income. It's just a couple $100s. So any bit you can give to help keep me on the road and sharing about my travels and making these videos really, really means a lot to me. So thank you guys. I'll see you for the next one.